Okay, everybody is sharp at 11 o'clock, and right now I'm currently live with my apprentice Facebook page, and together in conjunction with Vision Alliance, we are running the Sales and Marketing Breakthrough Week. So without further ado, let me just quickly introduce myself. My name is Wesley Chan, and I'll be the host here for today. So what's going to happen is that in this whole 1 hour power-packed Facebook Live, now instead of just talking about motivation, right now it's going to talk about action. So we will be sharing with you some very practical strategies on how we can boost and increase our sales and marketing, especially during crisis. So now what's going to happen is that today we have got two guest speakers here who share with you in terms of motivating sales team remotely. And before I bring on and invite our guests here today, I'm going to walk you through a little bit of some strategies on how we can motivate our sales team, which is very important because to a lot of you here right now, is how we can manage and continuously motivate our sales team, no matter from which part of the world they are or which part of Malaysia they are right now. So today's topic is going to be exactly on that, on how to motivate sales team remotely. And again, the format here that we're going to run is I'm going to first begin with first 10 minutes, and I'll share with you some very practical, actionable strategies for those of you here in sales and in business. And then we will have our guests here later who will be sharing with you some very practical, hands-on, proven strategies on how we can manage our sales team remotely. And for those of you who just joined, so drop me a hi so I know that you're watching this right now. And I would like to welcome all of you to like and share this video so you can benefit many more people out there. So just a question for some of you here watching this video right now. So I would like to ask, how many of us here that you are in the area of sales and business? If yes, I want you to comment the word yes in the comment section right now. All right. And again, I wish that all of you here can communicate with me so that we can have a two-way communication instead of me just talking alone. All right. So here we go. So again, once again, for those of you here just joining, just let me know you're here. Just drop me a hi so I know that you're watching this right now. All right. So let me just do a very quick introduction about myself and let me just break into the topic right now. Here we go. All right. So William Property, hello William for joining this right here. So let me just do a little bit screen share and I will bring you to about my topic here first for the first 10 minutes right here on the screen. So everybody look in front, and this will be my screen right now. Okay, so what's gonna happen is this. Okay, let me just direct the screen over. All right, good. So I'm gonna first brief you through in terms of the sales and marketing breakthrough week, the format is how it goes. I'm gonna spend the first 10 to 15 minutes in terms of recommending some practical actionable strategies for you in order for you to create in terms of the sales and marketing breakthrough. At the end of the day, we hope that we can turn crises into opportunities to help salespeople and business owners like you to go through these tough times for you to dominate the market. We will then have the next 40 minutes and we'll invite industry speaker, and in this case today, speakers, because we have two very highly reputable gentlemen to share with us on very practical strategies in terms of motivating sales team remotely. And of course, we would love to open to the floor in case any of you here, you've got any questions that you want to address. Here we go to get your thoughts clarified in the next upcoming interview right now. So and again, our two gentlemen we have here today, we have Daniel from IQI Global and George from Juwai IQI, both very highly reputable, respected gentlemen in the industry of real estate. They run a huge sales force across the world in terms of real estate. And me being the host here today, together with my fellow friend, Lawrence Lau, who's the founding chairman of My Apprentice. And let me just do a very quick introduction about myself. My name is Wesley Chan, have been in the training industry for the past 9 years, trained across 20 cities, more than 120,000 people in the area of sales, persuasion, and influence. Very grateful to be a 3-time TEDx speaker. So now today's topic, we're going to talk about motivating sales team remotely. So I still remember back then when I first started doing sales, my coach, my mentor, a huge shout out for Mr. K. Tinesh Kumar, and he once taught me about the importance of having a system. Now, the system I'm referring to is not about those online systems. The system I'm referring to is a system of motivating and engaging our sales team, be it remotely or in front of you. System is very powerful to ensure the success of our sales team. And that's what I learned at the first place. So what is system? In layman terms, system stands for a proven guide, a formula, and a strategy that we can all use in order to help boost and guide our sales team. Now, in this way, where you share with people, these are some proven things from you to earn this much of commission, to make this much of money. You want to share with people a proven formula, a proven guide, or a strategy to help motivate and guide our sales team. Now, what I learned back then is this. The importance of system, at the end of the day, comes back into these three things called the FTC. Now, FTC stands for, the first one is called function. Now, a very good system for motivating sales team remotely is to have a function or a place or an online, offline place that people can gather together. And it's a good practice where everybody in the sales force, manager, director, or even the management can come together to meet everybody, to have dialogues, to have concerns, and to raise any issues, discussions across the organization. Very good to ensure transparency and to break the hierarchy of the sales team, where everybody can share and meet everybody, and everybody will feel that they are connected to the organization. Number two, effective sales team comes with effective training, where people can come together in a place that the company provides consistent training, support, where they can upskill and learn industry knowledge and even personal development. Because at the end of the day, personal growth is business growth. Number three, the importance of system will also touch on coaching, where very powerful sales structure, where the coaching element, where the directors will coach the managers will also coach the people at the executive sales force level. So these are what I find very powerful for all of us to adopt and adapt, especially during crises like this. What are some functions, opportunities that the management, directors, managers can engage with the sales force? What are some continuous trainings that we can provide, be it industry specific or non-industry specific? Number three, how can we have a good coaching system where we can coach management to the directors to the managers to the sales force entirely? At the end of the day, how do we do so? These are some strategies, practical, actionable strategies that I recommend all of you here to practice, especially during crisis. Number one, make sure it's very important that one of the main criteria is to have a shared vision, where the entire organization clearly know where is the organization heading to, what is the vision, and what's the direction they're heading to. Inspiring and trend-setting vision is very important for us to inspire our entire sales force. Number two, support. Very powerful, effective sales team management system. We have ongoing support, where I like concepts like a lot of companies out there, especially to the company, which I'm going to invite later, IQI Global and Juwai IQI, continuous support on how we can continuously support and motivate our sales team. And to share with people that, hey, you know what? We are ready to assist you. We are ready for your support. Number three, when it comes to spirit, how do we continuously uplift the spirit of the people that we have and we manage? And in a way, how can we continuously encourage and promote growth, be it at a group level, the team level, and most importantly, at the individual level? How can we continuously uplift the spirit, connect, and motivate them? And of course, last but not least, number four, one of the strategies, very important, a strong culture in motivating sales team is to have a celebration and recognition mechanism, where how can we continuously recognize and celebrate the success of our sales team, be it a certain tier, incentive, recognize them to do some sharing, promote them, give them from a trip, or just recognize them in terms of a specific incentive of commission. So these are four criteria that I find based on my research. These are the four criteria, the 4S formula: shared vision, support, spirit, and strong culture. Very, very helpful in motivating your sales team, especially during crisis. And again, we are very honored and we are very proud and we are very fortunate, especially for me, to invite our next two gentlemen here on air on Facebook Live. We have Mr. Daniel Ho, the Group Managing Director of IQI Global, and Georg, Executive Chairman of Juwai IQI, a very huge organization. And when I got to know them a few years ago until now, it's a huge leap that they've experienced, especially to incorporate digitalization in the real estate industry. So let me just exit my screen share, and I'm very honored to have them on stage. So for those of you here who are currently joining this right now, I would like to say hi. Let us know if we are here. Say hi. I want to communicate with some of you here. We got Samantha, right? So we got Samantha, we got Kelvin, and we got a lot of people right here. All right, so here we go. For those of you watching right now, drop us a hi. Let us know we are here, because in the next 10 seconds, I'm going to be inviting here our special gentleman here today. So let me just first bring my co-host. I'm going to bring Lawrence on stage. Lawrence, I'm going to bring you on stage right now. So Lawrence, I want to say hi to our friends, Lawrence. All right, Lawrence, perhaps we can unmute the mic, say hi to our friends.
Hello, hello.
All right, and so Lauren's going to join me, and we're going to interview. We're going to have our next two gentlemen on stage right here. I want to show you some love. Say hi to our friends right here and again. So I'm going to first invite Daniel on stage and George to be here. Say hi to our friends.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Hi. Good morning, everyone.
Loud and
Morning.
clear.
I
Thank you
just
very much.
realized I'm the odd one. I'm not wearing red. You should have told me the dress code today is red.
We get you one of these shirts.
This is by chance, right? All right.
Not too late to change.
We got a lot of people. George and Daniel, we got a lot of people saying hi to you. We have Kelvin who's here, Samantha who's here, Louis is here, Catherine, Tan Kiam Kun, Debster. Well, there are a lot of people are here as well.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Our love. And make sure that you guys stay healthy. I think this is a very important time for us. Yeah, stay healthy.
Yeah, good. All right, thank you very much for that. And again, today's topic about motivating sales team remotely. And before we go into this topic right here, so just want to get some opinion from George and Daniel. So how has it been for your sales team during this current MCO? How is the sales situation right now?
In general, Georg, go ahead first.
You go first.
I think in general, like when the lockdown happened, it came as a shock, and but we know it is at the back of our mind. It is inevitable. We make some changes, we adapt and adopt as what you have presented earlier on, and we are quite proud and happy that we have yield very positive result during the MCO period. All in all, the team have performed very well, and we have managed to break a lot of ceilings and does a lot of breakthrough in our sales, and the team is continue to forge forward because these are the newfound skills that they have acquired.
And for Juwai IQI, I mean, I'm my dad. We had a clear strategy. The strategy is unchanged. We want to be the player who makes all Asian consumers, global residents, want to open up the world for the Malaysian, Vietnamese, Chinese buyers. And what coronavirus has done is it has certainly accelerated the online transformation in our business and has endorsed our strategic direction. And so now we are in a stronger position than we probably were before.
Right. All right, and again, so it's very good that again MCO. I mean, it's in Malaysia, having MCO and COVID-19 comes in very abrupt. So I think that's good that we get both of you to share with some perspective of how to motivate the sales team remotely. And let's take a step back, right? Because maybe to our viewers out there who may not know IQI Global and Juwai IQI, perhaps can you just do a very quick introduction about your organization?
Yes. So Juwai IQI is a PropTech group. It's a combination of a real estate portal or online marketplace, Juwai, which is the #1 marketplace for Chinese buyers on a global scale, together with IQI Global, which is the largest project marketing or PropTech induced real estate group across Southeast Asia and the Middle East, with presence in Canada and Australia and other places.
That's right. I think what we have done is over in the mid of last year, these two companies have come together. We used to operate independently, separate entity, but effectively last year, these two companies become one company. And Georg he's the executive chairman of Juwai IQI. I'm the executive director of Juwai IQI.
Right.
Yeah. I think this is a very interesting organization that I've heard a lot from Wesley, because in my 20s, Wesley is also one of our heroes. He has been training our university students, going nationwide. But with IQI, I think he has went overseas as well to meet up with your team in other countries. But before we go into the next question, I would like to ask about this. Did your company, did IQI actually get caught by attention of what is happening on this pandemic or COVID-19? Were you prepared that whatever that is happening now that is happening, were you prepared a few months back, or you were hit by attention as well? Caught by attention?
For us, we started digitizing our business in day one. We did not anticipate such thing is possible, because like if you look at the world, historical data, the last pandemic is the Spanish flu. That was like what long time ago, like 1915s, something like that. And this certainly come as a surprise, but we gear our business without knowledge that such thing is possible. But when this happened, it sort of like is a validation of what we have decided in day one, and whereby we are building our digital capability. We wrote our own apps. We add in a lot of feature to empower our agent to transact on a virtual basis. So there are many things that we have done even before the COVID-19. It is done online, and this sort of like when this happened, we just switch over.
That's right. Also, internally, staff were used to Zoom and to the interaction and so on, and to the fact that we can't be at every place at the same time. So we kind of had developed already a way of running an organization in a distributed form using internet and so on and so forth. And what this has now done is has removed any optional and replaced it with mandatory, making technology mandatory in all aspects of our larger group.
Right. So the interesting part is when you say about making this mandatory, right? I think a lot of Salesforce currently, where some of them adopt and adapt technology, and yet some of them have a little bit of resistance. So my question to you is, in your organization, how did you manage to encourage and promote such huge people following coming into the online world? I guess it's not an easy task. How did you create that change of mindset and for them to adopt digitalization? How did you do that?
Definitely. I mean, what we have done is a couple of things. First of all, we've given them the right tools to operate in an online environment. And as with any change, you have people who take it up first, and then others who follow. So you have your early adopters and your followers, and so on. Yes. And what I think, Daniel has and the IQI team have done in an incredible way is have made sure everybody knows about those people who embrace it and made them heroes and made them share, which goes back to what you said earlier, Wesley, around the training, the gathering, the function, the training and the coaching and so on. And that really had a massive impact, because then you have almost like a fear of missing out trend coming in, and certainly, and then also making this knowledge accessible. So not only live, but also making online training available, and simply also doing things which are more on a motivational level. So we had cooking classes and other things being done. Why? Just to promote the culture and the family concept in this group, which is really, really good. And then people realize online actually makes things so much easier in the real world and is part of the real world now. So why wouldn't you adopt it?
Like if you look at me, I don't come from a generation where I belong to the tech savvy, era. And so many times, when you want to initiate something in a company, like in our case, the dinosaur got to move first. The dinosaur who is in the leadership. So the leaders have got to take the lead. In especially, it has to start from me. And sometimes the journey can be quite painful. But, there is, in that journey, there's a pot of gold at the end of the journey. So for me, the journey in IQI has to start with the leadership. So I took the step to learn. I took the step to understand what is UI, what is UX. I took the step to understand the technology infrastructure. And I took the step to understand the whole process of creating dashboard and everything else, so that at the end of the day, if I can lead by example, show it to everybody else that I can do it, obviously those who is not so tech savvy, they can also do it. Because for the young ones, they can adopt very easily. It is, those that is my era or later, that is a little bit challenging. So yeah, you got to.
And I would add, Daniel, on the flip side, the technology side, more the Juwai side, they learned a lot about real estate because it is about technology and real estate coming together. Disruption is not just about throwing all sorts of technology out on people and hoping something happens. It's about solving real problems in the real world. And by us on the Juwai side getting more access now to what is happening on the IKEA side and how business is being done was so powerful in this merger. So we had only done the merger 5 months ago, and then on top of that we have now coronavirus. So we have really gotten a catalyst for the adoption of technology and for two companies coming together rapidly, which was quite a unique story and very rewarding.
Right, good, and that's good to know. And in regards of that, when you combine, I think it's more powerful in a way that you suddenly merge like the superheroes, the Avengers come together and things like that.
Yes.
All right. So,
it's a bit like that. It's like superheroes because everybody has a different strength and skill. Yes. And if you combine it, you are unbeatable.
Speaking of which, I think both of you, IQI specifically, you've got a lot of people saying hi. Louis is here. Kelvin is here.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Hello, Warriors.
Hi.
Hello, Warriors.
And all the visitors, good morning.
Samantha is here as well. Alina Chan is here as well. Yan Tan is here. Yan Alex is here as well. Wow. We have Christine Fong is here as well. Michael Prince Talk. Dapster Avengers coming together. All right, so here's my question that you mentioned just now. You talk about combining strength and you talk about using platforms to actually solve the real issue. So my question is, how do you know is the right technology, or how do you know is the right platform for you to offer to the market? Because most often, a lot of people, okay, let's prepare something. But I think most importantly, whether we need to know whether is the market ready or does the market want or not. So how do you know is the right platform for you to offer to the market?
I would say by talking. If Daniel and I talk, Daniel knows exactly what the market needs, and I can add a few technological solutions to it. I mean, I'm not the only one. We've got a large technology team in the company, and the good thing is, IKI has always focused very much in the past on technology, so it's an easy conversation. So we have that conversation, and then we just roll it out. But the key is really, it's not the most beautiful solution; it's the most effective solution first, and then it's also a question of gradual improvement.
Right.
Like in everything that you do, you have to be, your heartbeat must be close to the ground. Your heartbeat must be in the ground. So whatever that you do, remember there is always feedback. So sometimes, I'm also, guilty of doing some mistake in the past, as in, as entrepreneur, we tend to want to do the things that we want to do, and we neglect the heartbeat of the market. And when you do that, there are repercussions. There is a price that you've got to pay. But when you learn how to listen to the market, what exactly does the market want? And you dance to the tune of the market, and you anticipate the future movements of the market, and you build towards that future movements, then it is sort of like sink in. We don't have a crystal ball to say everything that we do is spot on. But when you start to understand the market will reward you back more and more. The more you understand, it's like the more you understand your wife, the more beautiful your marriage is going to be. I hope it is a good analogy.
Yes.
Okay, so speaking of which, you mentioned a very interesting point. Your heartbeat must be very close to the market. I think the next question which I pop up in my mind is, how do you draw a balance between what you want to do and to change according to the market? Because probably the market wants a certain way that is totally beyond your comfort zone, or maybe things that you want, or maybe they don't realize. How do you draw the balance between listening to them, adapting to them, and following to your own guts? How do you draw that balance?
It is a balance of, knowing what the market wants, knowing what is the heartbeat of the market, and also you infuse it with your vision. Your vision has to have the ability to see further than what the market sees, because after all, in the business that we are in, we are supposed to be the specialists. We are supposed to be the experts, the professionals in our field. So there are a lot of things that the market do not see what they want, or do not know what they want in the future, but we see it coming. So when you are able to fuse these two together, I'm pretty sure, you will be rewarded, by the market, and the market will take notice. It is the same example when, during the launch of the first iPhone, the market doesn't know that they wanted an iPhone. But when they saw the first iPhone that was launched by Steve Jobs, there is an aha moment. That aha moment is, I never knew that I wanted a device like this, but I don't know this exists, but this is what I want. So these are the things that, within the management of Juwai IQI, we sit down regularly and we brainstorm a lot of models.
I think this is a very interesting discussion that the leadership must take the lead, and also then you all create a platform for your team to follow, and then to understand the heartbeat of the people at the ground. But I have a follow-up question to this. How do you ensure that your team members, your colleagues are at the same heartbeat as you? It's not difficult. Maybe not to say it's not difficult. Creating the platform is part one. How do we get part two, which is everybody to be aligned with the same focus and with the same vision?
Yes, I think it's communication, being clear where the journey is going. Then second bit is walking the talk, so there's no exceptions. So everybody has the same sized box on Zoom when you do a video call. So whether you're a member of the board or a salesperson, so everybody is of equal importance. Everybody delivers results. Everybody is held accountable. Making communications clear, simple, and holding people accountable. That would be, from my perspective, some of the key elements. And then also giving people the tools to be successful: technology, training, coaching, and also courage and culture. I mean, Daniel and the team have created an enormous culture in like a really, really inspiring culture among the sales team.
Yeah, what Georg highlighted, I couldn't stress more. Perhaps I can summarize it in 3 categories. It is vision, culture, and empowerment.
Vision, culture, empowerment. I think this is a very straightforward answer. That I like that part on walking the talk, because I think it's important for leaders to show example as well of what they want to implement. But to follow up on that, I think a lot of corporations, including IQI, correct me if I'm wrong, that we used to meet up with our colleagues, a lot of time. Then we talk to them, we have discussions with them about their performance, about their achievements. Now that we can't meet each other and it's very virtual now, so how do you manage their performance online at the moment?
Typically we don't manage. Our culture is so strong. All our people on the ground, they are so motivated. You ask any one of them, they are bursting with capability and power. So many of them is even much more capable than I am. I can't even close the sort of deals that they are closing. Amazing. My hat's off to those warriors out there. And for us, our job scope is very much different. We don't manage. We provide the direction. We provide the coaching. We build an extensive platform that is very capable to help each and every one of them to thrive. So this is essentially what we are doing.
Okay.
And George, you have anything you want to add, George?
I think it's also a good selection of the people. It's a good recruitment process, good attraction process. And once their people have joined, really looking after them, like retaining and developing them. Trust is fundamentally important. I mean, if you operate across so many different countries, you can't be, as I said earlier, be everywhere at the same time. So you have to have leaders in every of those countries and locations you operate in.
Right. And again, you operate like 11, more than 11 countries, am I right?
That's right.
And still counting.
And
still counting.
Counting. I mean, our core focus is Asia, but we're also in Australia, in Canada, and growing our network more and more and more.
And still counting. I like that. Right. Many more.
And still counting.
That's right.
Counting. And I'm counting the comments are coming in right now. So we have
Wow.
Hermie saying hi. We got CY Chu is also here saying hi. Jamie is also hi as well. Ken Thong is here.
Yes.
Of course, Christine Will Chan is also here. Yeah, so this
Hello,
warriors out there.
everyone. Good
Hello.
morning,
Hello.
everyone.
All right.
Yeah, I
Okay,
can
good.
see Will Chan and Debbie Ferreira also here. So it's amazing.
Yeah, so it's good. I don't know which time zone are they right now because you got like people from different parts of the world. All right.
Oh,
Okay. All right. So my next question is this. So in regards to this, what support? Okay. So if we are talking to business owners right now, for those running sales team or they are managing sales team, what do you think? What are some supports that you think that we can possibly give to the team in order for them to continuously motivate their sales team right now? What are some support that we can give? What do you recommend? What are some advice for them?
I would say, first of all, sharing success stories to give people confidence, because I mean, this is a region, and Asia, in particular, Southeast Asia, is a region which is really, really buzzing, and it has a great entrepreneurial impetus, and on the other side has very good infrastructure when it comes to technology, internet, etc. So it's about confidence, sharing stories, showing people what is possible. That's the first thing for other people to go into the same direction. And the second bit is really always reminding people, whatever they do, it must solve a real problem rather than getting carried away with nice technology. Technology is sometimes a bit dangerous because you get very much carried away because it sounds so much better and you always want to have the latest. But what you need to have is the most suited to the problem.
Right.
And what we do, to add on, we does a lot of daily training for our people. On average, I can say, on average, probably we have about 4 to 5 trainings on a daily basis, which cover a lot of areas. It covers knowledge on industry, knowledge on personal development, international marketing, digitization, so on and so forth. That is one aspect. The other aspect is, during this time, apart from the personal development motivation and feeding the mind, the pockets of the people is also running dry. Why? The pockets of the people, during the lockdown, many industry players, they are unable to transact. So for us, from the group perspective, our accounts department has been very busy. We are flowing in our fast commission, payment within 7 days. And deals are still being submitted, online via our platforms. And commissions, doesn't stop. The commission is being paid in full within 7 days when it comes to IQI. And our accounts department, thanks to the system that we have built over the years, everything is off the line, and we have utilized technology to ensure banking is all smooth, transaction is all smooth, commission is super smooth. I think that's very important. These are the things that sort of like uplift the spirit of our people, because when your income is dry, it's very difficult to move forward.
That's interesting. And the 7 days fast commission, I think it gives people a certain assurance that even though during crisis, that we are here to still deliver, you are here to still serve, and you are here to still support them, which I think is a very good point. Because even though times of crisis, like what you say, pockets is very important. At the end of the day, motivation is good, but at the end, people will check back their bank balance. So
that's right.
Yes,
that's right.
So it's one of the ways to motivate people, because at the end, people need to see results. So my next question, which I'm very interested to know, right? So you talk about every single day, you got like 4 to 5 to 6 trainings happening like over so many platforms, which I think your team is like so innovative, and they find their own platforms, they find their own ways to go and train and to coach and whatsoever, right? Okay, here's the point that I'm very curious to know. Let's bring back many years ago, when how do you started this culture of empowerment? Because for those fellow friends out there, maybe if they're starting as a sales or they're starting in a startup, maybe for them to do so is a bit hard. So let's bring back your memory back many years ago. How did you first started this empowerment culture? How did you manage to pull through?
It started off by one word: leadership by example. We started off, initially when we started off early days, the leadership of the company, the management, basically they does it. So we does it, and in the early days, it's super hard. Like everybody else, it's super hard because why? It doesn't stick. People said, "Oh, okay, why should I come? I know everything already." Especially when there are some agents or negotiators who have many years of experience in the market. They said, why do I need to learn things that I've known for so many years and the things that I've been doing for so many years? Why do I need to adopt technology? I'm doing business pretty well. So many resistant, but you have to persist. Rome wasn't built on one day. And neither, like if you want someone to embrace a culture that is absolutely different from their norm, it can't be done in one day. You have to do it from day one and you have to persist. Simple. That's the only answer that I can give. That's the true answer as it is.
Yes. And if I look back really, 20 years ago and so on, or 25 years ago when I started my career, I think the first realization was that it's actually not good if I think I can do everything. So because I might be not as good as I think, and there's other people out there, when empowered, who can actually create 1 + 1 is 3 or 4 or 5 outcome, which is the essence of most of the mergers. I mean, every company theoretically can do everything, but that's not really advisable and not leading to result. Only when you empower, when you work together, when you learn to trust, and when you learn to trust others, it means actually you trust yourself as well more. When you have the confidence, that's when real amazing ideas get generated, like Juwai IQI, which is really solving a problem. The problem is how do you perform property transactions in the most effective and efficient way, end to end, rather than just generating leads or just doing sales. It's really an end-to-end offering, and that's so powerful.
Yeah, I think again that's a very good explanation, and I just want to zoom a little bit more in on the part where you spoke about communication just now. Let's just backtrack a bit to communication. So I think at this point of time, a lot of businesses that I see that some of them could already start to break. Some of them could, businesses are shutting down and etc. So I'm very keen to understand at your corporation, how open is conversation and communication between your leadership and those people within your team, and where do your team members go to when they have questions or when they have problems? Who do they seek to in the team to actually, because I think it's important for them to share, whatever problems or concerns that they have. Where do they go to?
I think in my perspective, for any organization to do very well is don't have your whole organization depend on your C-level management. Because if you don't build competent leaders within your organization, everything goes back to you. You die.
Yes.
Yeah, I think communication, the way we work is we build a lot of competent leaders. Wesley will know, we have so many competent vice president, senior leaders, so many of them. We are so proud of them. And when you empower everyone, and when you align everybody vision with a singular vision, which is the vision of the company, the vision of Juwai IQI, everybody runs towards that direction. That communication is going to be very powerful, rather than just the top C-level shouting, hey, listen to me. Yeah.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. I mean, innovation involves a whole company and sharing a strategy and identifying yourself with the common vision, with the product and so on. It's the best, who can people talk to? Pretty much to everyone, and they do it. And in many cases, it's fantastic. In some cases, it's also quite tough. But like for the recipient, like myself or others, but it's good feedback. Listening is an important skill in a growth company. Always listening, because otherwise you get carried away. And if you have your ears on the ground and you get constant information and feedback, that's actually quite powerful. If people tell you what's happening and what they're seeing and what they like or don't like, it's actually a sign of trust.
Good. Well, that's a very sharp answer. I like that part, that like or don't like is a sign of trust. Yeah.
Yes.
And I felt I could feel that passion, that energy coming. And so many times the answer was very short and precise, and you just say it's all leadership by example, it's all walking the talk, it's all just continuously persistence. And I think that's very important, especially nowadays, where a lot of people tend to give up too easily, and all because they are not clear of their direction and the vision.
Correct.
So my next follow-up question is this: how do you know is the right vision to set? Because when people come together, people give all these ideas, right? How do you know that's like that vision to go to? So what is your take on this?
How do we know the vision is the right one? Sorry, Daniel, you go first. Sorry.
Yeah, you go.
Okay, it's really looking around and seeing what the pain points are, which people have. Like if you think about it, you're let's say a Vietnamese or Malaysian buyer interested in property, wanting to buy a property for the education of your kids in a different country. Where do you go? Where do you get the information? Which counterparts do you meet? Can you trust them? And so on and so forth. That's like really solving day-to-day problems are a good indication for your strategy, and then you condense it and then you mirror it to what you want to achieve and what you think is the vision and the mission. And for us, really, the full empowerment of all Asian buyers by a group, a leading group across all of Asia, giving access to the global properties is really a very, very powerful mission and vision, and focusing on technology and maximizing technology to solve those problems which people face and stakeholders in the value chain face. That is really how we build it. I mean, again, being open, having the ears on the ground, listening, can adjust the way to get there, but the overarching vision is very clear for us, the long-term vision.
I would say, when someone become an entrepreneur and he has a team of staff working for him, under him, first and foremost, I think it's very important for him to understand that is a calling in itself. That calling of being an entrepreneur has its reward, but it is a responsibility. You have the responsibility to provide the impetus for the company, the vision for the company. Because if you don't provide that, you are leading a bunch of people to don't know where, right? Yeah. And when you are head of that company, you're part of the management of the company. It's very important for each of the management to spend time to grow themselves, to spend time to develop themselves. Because if our capability are limited, how can we lead? So many times, if the head of the company is blind, the rest of the group will be blind. So vision is like you being a beacon, like a lighthouse. You know that there is a ship coming. You have to provide the light in the right area so that you direct them away from the rocks and whatnot. Otherwise, ship can really sink. A whole company can sink. So I think very important for leaders to spend the time to grow your knowledge, grow your capability, grow your spirit. As I saw you in your presentation, Wesley, your spirit is very important, because with that enhanced spirit, you are able to see further and do a better job. My 2 cents.
Good. There's a lot more than 2 cents, right? There's a lot of value from the chat.
Yes. 3 cents. 3 cents.
3 cents. Right. All right. So talking about that, so we have a lot of people coming in, just saying hi. So let me just read out some of them. Let me just scroll back first. So we have Ivan Tan who say good morning to everybody. With Alina. Alina Chan say hello from WA.
Hi. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Right.
Hello.
So Rahim saying great platform. We have Wei Xian saying hi. Give a clap. Wei Hen. Big Sen. And we got Dave Platter. Thanks so much for sharing this insight. And of course, we got Yiman say hi, George. You got the supporter there.
Yeah, you have a large fan base.
We have Will Chan that says, passion for you, product is absolute key. Passion for your product is absolute key. Believe in what you sell. Yep, VP is here. How? Calvin, say, agreed, Daniel? All right, we got Dapster saying, well said. We got Alina that says, listening is the most crucial skill. Again, thanks, George. Will Chan says, agree with Alina. If you take time to listen, they will actually tell you how to sell to them. Create a one that you sell, or slowly become Dapster. Say that's so true. Will Chan say, if you want to make a friend, you will make a sale. Client will not purchase from a salesperson, they will buy from someone they like. All right,
Yes.
so we have a question from Yiman. Okay, let me just read for those who are here. Okay, Louis saying hi. And Shan as well is here as well. Shan is saying hi as well. We got Prince Talk saying hi too. Alina Chan is saying, wow, so insightful for us to work towards being a team leader. Thank you, Daniel. All right, so here's a question from Yiman to George and Daniel. All right, how would you advise new businesses, those who have yet to have success story to motivate their sales team, at the same time managing his own company cash flow during challenging times like this? Which is more important, determined leaders or proactive employees? Very interesting question.
It's a hard one because both are very, very important. I mean, what would I do? I would first of all sell the dream to the salespeople. If the salespeople don't believe in the dream, they can't sell. So if they don't embody the dream, then they won't be successful. So that's the first thing. Second thing is obviously participate in as many sales interactions as possible to learn more about, is the product right? Does it need to be tweaked, or the service? And then once you have first sales, create a culture and system and processes to share knowledge. How can we get better? Are we selling too cheap? Are we too expensive? Is the offering too complex, etc.? So it's really about all the things which we've discussed today to bring it together. They apply for existing established businesses as well as new businesses.
Yiman, I would, maybe you need to ask yourself questions like, what sustains your company? And in many companies' instances, it is the cash flow that sustains a company. So in this difficult time, first and foremost, you have to look into your cash liquidity. Do you have enough runway to pull through this or not? How are you going to fund your cash liquidity, cash flow, so that, your monthly obligation is being met? So you can do it in few ways. Some of the startups, they fund their cash requirement through debt. They fund their cash requirements to investment by VCs. Some of them, who is more traditional, they fund their cash requirements through revenue that they have generated. So if you have a bunch of employees, you got to decide, you want to build the front end part first, or do you want to build the back end part? The back end being, the administrative part, the tech part, those that is non-revenue generating component, whereas the front end part are your sales part, your marketing part. These are the people that will get you business. So you have to prioritize what is important for your company. Every companies have different dynamics. Every companies have different requirements. In your companies, only you can evaluate that. If cash is the most important criteria, build your front end part. Look at other avenues of raising funds to ensure that you can sustain through. So let your back end chase after your front end. So when you have built your company into a very stable cash position and whatnot, then you enhance your back end. So that, your back end, these are all your supporting tools that you need, So prioritizing, it is like orchestrating. You are the conductor. How do you want this piece of symphony to be sung out in the market? The choice is in your hand.
I felt that this is like I'm also learning a lot from this, the moment you share. I love those I love those questions, how both of you structured, and it's just so precise and it's just so insightful. So you talk about the front end and the back end, managing the cash liquidity, what's the priority and all. So again, Yiman, hope that we addressed your question. If yes, just give us a thumbs up so that I know that it addresses your question. All right, and again, many people are coming here and say, again, Eric says, good sharing, learning as well. Prince Talk as well, say good sharing. Yan Tan says, spirit of leadership. Give you a thumbs up for both of you.
Thank you.
Alina, again, absolutely love this. Well said. Guang Ming Zhu. Wow, okay. Great sharing. And yes, Yiman says, thanks. All right. Yiman is definitely right. Loving this, right? That's I love the honesty in the answers. Okay, and for some of you here just watching right there, we do welcome your Q&A, your questions and all, so that we can address your burning questions that you really want to ask in terms of motivating your sales team, running a sales team, on how to make your team competent, productive, proactive, and positive during this time of crisis. So for those of you any questions, feel free to drop your questions right now. More than happy to address your questions to Georg and also to Daniel. All right, so we have another question right here, which is interesting. All right, so let me just read this again. Samantha saying, I'm very proud to be a team and so insightful of us to work together as a team. Alina also here give you a yes, with a lot of S. All right, so here we go. Okay, Wei Chen Ang has got an interesting question. What setback do you anticipate in the coming future, in addition to the coronavirus outbreak recently? This is a very practical question.
I mean, if we exclude the impact of the coronavirus, which I personally think is a temporary slowdown, but those companies who are well adapted will carry through. And once the market comes back, and there are signs that it's starting to gradually being relaxed, the lockdown restrictions, step by step, we will return to a normality with a stronger online focus, because some of the changes we have experienced now will be permanent. Now, what other setbacks will come, I don't know, but it's a very important point to always be prepared for challenges on the way ahead, and to convert those challenges where possible into also opportunities. So always be prepared that not everything goes to plan, but if new things happen, always also think of how can I actually embrace this change to get out on the other side in a stronger way. For us in Juwai API, it was the online end-to-end penetration with online, doing advertising and selling fully online is probably the biggest outcome out of the whole thing.
Wei Chang An, I would suggest that you rephrase your questions, because if you put forth such questions, your emphasis and focus is on the setback, is on the negative, is on the gloom and doom that will happen. I mean, it's important to have all this in place, but I would suggest you can know it at the back of your mind. Just put it at the back of your mind. But what more importantly moving forward is, what is the opportunity that you can uncover from the current situation, and moving forward, what are the bigger opportunities that can grow your business 2 times, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times? And if you ask yourself, and you rephrase yourself, with the right questions, instead of doing damage control, your business is moving on a different trajectory that is going to thrive in a different level. So that's what you want. So ask the right question and you get the right answer.
All right. Very okay. Yes, Lawrence.
No, I really like that about setback and rephrasing your question into opportunity, because this is exactly what I actually spoke to my team when MCO started, and I said, no, I had a bit of downtime for the first few days, and I'm unsure of what to do. And after that, of course, then we have to think of what's next, what's in the future, what's the opportunity or whatever that's happening. But I have one question, a very short and simple question. I do not know how do you all do this internally, but there are times, are there times the leaders themselves are demotivated? Are there times business owners, leaders are also demotivated? They do not know what to do. In your case, who do they talk to? Who do they actually seek advice or moving forward?
Georg, you want to answer that?
I would say, I mean, it's never really a long-term demotivation. I mean, it can be a short-term demotivation. Let's say if the German soccer team gets kicked out of the World Cup, that certainly demotivated me greatly, or other things. But I've never had really a situation where I was completely demotivated, frustrated, because I know that in order to continue on the path, I'm a long-term thinking person. Sometimes I have to adapt the style. Sometimes I get negative feedback and I'm a bit down, but it never lasts for too long. I think there's peers, there's colleagues to talk to, friends and family, and that gets you through. I think it's absolutely normal. And as long as you believe also in yourself, I think you carry through any setbacks.
For me, I think every leader, they have this inbuilt mechanism that they have built over their years of experience. And that years of experience sort of like, they are able to go back to this inner source of energy to sort of like remotivate themselves, recharge. That is this place that most of the leaders have. And this is what I call belief, Some of them, they will believe in themselves. Some of them, they will believe in the universe. For myself, I believe in a God. And these are, quiet moments that each different leaders, different individuals, give space and time for themselves to come up again. Because if you are a leader, I think it is very, I wouldn't recommend that your motivation has to be dependent on someone. It has to be, you has to be able to go to a place where you are re-energized, one way or another, your vision is realigned, it's like your whole being is really recalibrated. So there has to be a place for you. A lot of people have managed to do that. Be it they could depend on a form of religion, or they are atheists. So it doesn't matter. There is always a place. Leaders have to be self-motivated.
Yes, and I mean, if I may just add, I've read now a couple of times, proud to be a part of Juwai IQI. That alone gives enormous motivation to both of us. So thank you for that, Kelvin. Thank you for that, Alina and Samantha.
Yes, catching the comments. Too many. I got to scroll and find. All right, good point. I like the part where you say about the inner energy and belief. I mean, again, be it God, self, universe, they have to go to a place. I absolutely agree with that, especially during times of crisis, where there's no certain benchmark that we can refer, but it's just to gather ourselves, just to regather our thoughts, just to rejuvenate, like what you say, and to recharge ourselves. I like that answer. Yeah. Interesting. We got Yusuf from Toronto, right?
Hi, Yusuf.
And we got Catherine Wong coming here as well. We have Kelvin Law that says self-motivation. And Alina has got the wrong answer. Agree with VP Kelvin. We're extremely proud, blessed to be in Juwai. Have to share this for the past 4 weeks. Through leadership, we are so empowered, motivated in all different aspects, from entrepreneur management skills, knowledge, growth, really pushing ourselves. That's a great testament of what we believe. So Alina there, and we have Samantha coming here. Samantha coming all the way here, give you a lot of calls.
Wow.
More love for you.
A lot of love.
More loves coming in. Shan, a lot of loves and a lot of thumbs up. And Kim Kun, divine support is important. Now we've got an interesting question for both of you, George and Daniel. This is an interesting one. Somebody all day from Cambodia. Her question is, let me just read it back. Sin Sothia says, hi team, how do we start IQI agent team firstly? And the next question is addresses, what should I do if I want to build an agency real estate sales team in Cambodia?
Sin, first, join our office in IQI Cambodia. We already have an office in IQI Cambodia. The person in charge there is Chandi. You can Google IQI Cambodia, send an email to them. They will be in touch with you. The whole journey is all prepared for you to grow. And there is a lot of interesting campaign that we are going to run and empower the team of Cambodia to grow, not only in Cambodia, but beyond Cambodia as well. With Juwai IQI, we are opening up a lot of opportunity for you to expand your business in Cambodia and beyond Cambodia. So check us out there. Thank you.
George, you want to add anything?
No, that's perfect.
No. Good. So look for Chandi, right?
Chandi, yes, Chandi.
Chandi, IQI Cambodia.
Chandy. Chandi.
Chandy. Perhaps somebody can type Chandy. So again, Sin, hope that we address your question. So we have another question coming in right now, and perhaps the last question that we want to take, because I know that both of you must have your next appointments and your stuff like that. So the last question comes from Eric. Post COVID-19, would Juwai IQI merger encourage a spike in IQI branches expansion to more countries and cities? Which country or regions will be your next focus?
So first part is yes, and second part is, but also during COVID. So I mean, we are not standing still. And second part is Asia, and countries which have a strong affinity with cross-border and domestic real estate markets, such as Australia, New Zealand, etc. So, yes.
Yes, totally
Yes.
agree with Georg's answer. Yeah. Yes.
Yes, yes.
A big yes.
Just a yes. Well, I like the
Yes.
short, sweet, simple, and sharp. I like the
Yeah.
just yes. Eric, so
Yes.
the answer is yes. Happy for you, Eric. All right. So yeah. So and again, Alina says thank you all the way from Australia. Yan Tan says be part of IQI. Give you a peace sign. And of course, Yan said Chandi Man and Chandi
Yes.
Man Chandi. So Sin, you can look for Chandi in IQI Cambodia. All right. And again, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you so much for your time. Once again, on the show here today, we have Mr. Daniel from Group Managing Director of IQI Global, and George, Executive Chairman of Juwai IQI. Once again, thank you so much for your time. For those of
Thank you.
for those of you watching this, if you're learning, enjoying so far, just show us your love, show us the thanks, so that we know that you learned something useful here today. From the bottom of my heart, one more time, Daniel and George, I want to say thank you. So the moment I reach out to you, you never hesitated, and it's such a great honor, a pleasure, and a pressure to have you on stage. You're like so.
Don't say that.
And again, I'm very grateful.
Thank you, Wesley.
And again, Lawrence, you want to
And
say
thank you,
anything?
Lawrence. Thank you, Lawrence.
Thank you.
I have to resonate with what George and Daniel have said. Thank you so much. Whatever that you have said for the past 1 hour resonates all of four of us here. We are all entrepreneurs. We are all movers. I think I've been touched with a lot. I actually wrote a lot about what you said just now. So I will definitely read back the notes that I wrote. Thank you for the sharing. Thank you for the morning session with us. Thank you again,
Our
George.
pleasure.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
So for George and Daniel, do you have any last words for our people watching right now?
I
want
just
to
wanted
thank
to
all-
thank for the energy.
Yeah.
Sorry, yes, you also.
Yes. We want to thank everyone that is part of this live, and really appreciate that. I hope whatever that we have shared, help you in your journey, in whatever that you do, and wish you continuous success and stay healthy.
Right. For those of you who got so many love coming in: Henrita, Kiam Kun, Ivan, Samantha, Beyond, Alex, CY Chu, Alina, Wei Chen again, Yusuf, Sheila as well, Kelvin, Bill, Christine. So many of you here. Now Bill is here as well. Alina, there's so many of us. Sokcha is here as well. Apologies if I can't read all of your comments. All right. And again, for those of you here, what we have done, the reason why we've written some notes, because for those of you here, if you want to take this chance, if you're just joining late, if you want a summary of this Facebook Live here today, we have compiled into a very simple summary for those of you here who want to benefit from this summary. So look out for this right there. Let me just drop the comments right there. So and again, so this is where you can get the summary. And also in this summary as well, we will also be providing my own version, my own ebook. We'll share with you the 14 days breakthrough action plan in terms of sales, online presence, sales breakthrough, and personal breakthrough, step-by-step process. So we're going to send it to your email and all. So appreciate once you get there, it's a Google form for you to fill in particulars like your email and so. And again, that's moving forward. Whether if you have an upcoming webinar, we will let you know as well. And a marketing breakthrough session with Lawrence as well. We're going to let you know as well. And again, for those of you here, just click on there, right? And again, so anything last words again, George? Just say thank you. That's all. No last words. Daniel?
Thank you.
Okay, maybe another last word. Okay, to all of you who has your own nationality, you could be from Cambodia, Thailand, Malaysian, and whatnot. You have a calling to your nation. Your nation is in trouble. Our nation is in trouble. You cannot afford to fail, because the whole nation's success depends on the success of its entrepreneur. So realize this. This is not about you alone. It is about your country, the people that you love. Do the right thing. Fight for the things that you believe for, and make your country great again. Everybody have this responsible. Rise up to the challenge. Yeah.
Good.
Goosebumps suddenly. I totally. What a perfect end to end this Facebook interview here today, right? And again, I want to do a quick shout out again. Thank you so much again for your time, Daniel and George. Thank you so much for joining this as well. And again, just a quick shout out for those of you here. Would like to invite all of you here to also follow our work in My Apprentice, our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And again, we have just recently launched our YouTube channel in My Apprentice School of Life. We'd like to invite all of you here to show your support, and we have got a lot of upcoming updates, especially to keep everybody here motivated, productive, proactive in different areas, sales, business, you name it all. Our importance here, our priority is to keep everybody here in touch so that we can build towards a stronger nation, towards what Daniel has said as well. All right. And again, I'll do a quick shout out for those of you here. If you want to join our Telegram channel, it's a https://t.me/myprintist. Just want to invite all of you here to be part of this initiative. Once again, thank you so much for your time. And for those of you watching, thank you so much for your time as well. And again, so we normally have a tradition here, Daniel and George, before we end, we're going to take a picture. We're going to show a piece
nice.
of picture. So how do we do it? Hold on for a moment. All right. So we just hide this. Okay. So I'm going to take a picture of his sign. Okay. So I'm going to take a screenshot from my side. Okay. Ready? Yes. 1, 2. All right, done. I'm going to send it over to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you, Wesley.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.
Daniel.
Bye. For those of you watching, we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Okay, thank you, everybody.